what sites do you recommend people starting out should use? My one, I know people might be against, well, not against it, but just think, really? I'm sorry, when I was coming up, Model Mayhem was great for me. Like, obviously, I've had some awful experience with Model Mayhem, but then I've also had some really good experiences, you know, and I've built some great relationships with people who I collaborated with through Model Mayhem. So yeah, I would definitely recommend sites like that if you're starting out.
I used to love Model Mayhem back in the day when I was modeling. Boy, yeah, I was always on there. Definitely found photographers there. I guess I wasn't at that point. I wasn't networking with models. I was just looking for photographers to shoot with. So I don't think it's as popular anymore. But I know the website is still going. Have you been on it in the last few years?
Sometimes I do just like go back. Like, I want to see if it still looks the same. I want to see if, I don't know.
It had like, that layout. It had like that kind of update box on the left, and yeah, I remember how it looked. You know what? My favorite app right now is Clubhouse, and you can find everyone on Clubhouse. I found a videographer through Clubhouse. A photographer that I was already connected with on Instagram. We reconnected on Clubhouse. We saw each other in a room and got talking again. And I've made like a really good network of American creatives, like stylists. Yeah. Stylists, designers, production units, factories, like whole heap of people out there that I've met through Clubhouse. I would definitely recommend that for people looking to expand their network.
Or you iPhone users, for us Samsung users.
Yes, unfortunately. Unfortunately, just the iPhone users for now, but they are going to spread it out to the rest of the other non-iPhone users of the world.
I know.
But yeah, and even Instagram, looking up certain hashtags and finding people, Facebook groups. I'm sure on Twitter as well. I did have a search for photographers through Twitter. Ew. So yeah, any kind of social media platform, just have a look, have a search. But I feel like with anything, when it's time for print, but there's money not being exchanged, like find the value for the other person. Like, what are they going to get out of it? If you're a model looking to find a photographer, like what's going to be their benefit? You know, have you got potential to be a really amazing model, or do you have some cool concepts or access to a cool location? Are you coming with the team already? You already have the makeup artist, the stylist. It's just going to be a case of the photographer having to show up and bring his magic, his or her magic. Just think about what the other person's going to get out of it. You know, sell it to them. Yeah. Sell it to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. And I guess the lasting thing would be, obviously, because you're from the designer perspective, and I'm from the stylist perspective. I haven't styled in years. But if there's a stylist wanting to get in contact with you to borrow some of your garments for a photo shoot, how would you want the stylist to approach you?
Yeah, I don't mind DM or email. Eventually it's going to have to go to email because I prefer to keep a trace of like communication in terms of like the loan docket and stuff on email. But initial conversation can be through Insta or Clubhouse or whatever. I really like it when a stylist knows what they want to shoot and they have an idea. So for example, I've put the lookbook together, these looks that I've done. So when a stylist is like, oh yeah, we want to borrow this look for this artist, or we're going to test it, I'm like, can you like use your creativity and put your own look together? Like, this look is already put together. So that's one thing that pissed me off a bit. I'm like, as a stylist, do you not want to bring your own flavor and own vision to the shoot? So don't screenshot a complete look and say, I want to borrow this. Like, you know, can we have the top from this and the trousers from this? And do you know what I mean? Like, mix up a bit. So that's one thing that I always want from a stylist. And if you don't have a budget to borrow the pieces, that's fine, but at least have the money to cover dry cleaning, because that shows me you have respect for the clothing, that you want to return it how you borrowed it. I think often stylists can forget that it takes a lot of energy to make a collection and to make garments. And sometimes there's been stylists that borrow stuff on a shoot which they have a budget for, but they don't want a budget for the clothes. It's like, without the clothes, what is a video shoot? What is a shoot? The model's going to be naked. Like, put a bit of effect and a bit of budget into it. And I understand if you don't have a budget, that's a different conversation. But I've had stylists that have a budget, but they'd rather that than to invest in these designers. And I'm a small designer. I'm not a massive corporation, so it makes a difference to my bottom line by just having a small amount of money given to me beyond the cost of dry cleaning to sustain what I do. And I've come across designers now that they don't loan. They say, okay, yeah, you can buy it, I can give you like a 10-20% discount, but I can't loan it to you. But I'm not at that point yet where I do that, because I still see the benefit of giving something to a stylist and then having it, in a music video or a shoot or whatever. If it fits, if the team's correct, I still see the benefit in that. But some designers like, no, I'm focusing on my clientele that buy the clothes. I'm not interested in this celebrity, this, that. Like, no, that even when the celebrity wears it, it doesn't translate to sales. So it's not something I'm going to continue doing. For me, it's really exciting when I see like certain, singers or whatever in my stuff. I'm just like, yes, like, I love how this looks. Just excites me. It's just, fun. But yeah, so when the stylist approaches me, have an idea of what you want to shoot and let it not be something that I just shot already. I like to know who's going to be wearing it. So if it's going to be a musician, because then I can see that, okay, so if that content comes out, that's something I can post because they fit with the Yemzi girl image. But if that person doesn't, it's kind of like, and then also they can give me any further details on the team, who's shooting it, makeup artists, rest of the team, to make the production. Also, I prefer them to not pick it up like a week in advance. Like, I understand there might be fittings or whatever, but if you haven't got a budget, don't have this garment away from me too long, because there's someone else who might have a budget that wants to borrow it. So I try and keep the scale like of loan as short as possible. And yeah, obviously they have to pick it up and drop it to me. In the early days when I was first loaning, I'd be happy to drop things off, and it's just like, nah, that can't happen anymore. If you want it, come and collect it and return it. I can't chase around people. What else do I like to see in a stylist? With anything, when anyone approaches you, if it's like for an internship or anything, if someone asks you to do something, you want to know that they're asking you because they like your stuff. So yeah, I don't know if even stylists have time for it, but maybe they say, I've been following your work for a while, or I really like this, or I don't know, just something to show that they're really into what you do on a personal level, and they're not just like blasting every and maybe if they can find out your name, or just something to show that they've gone beyond just like a quick message with no thought. What else? Yeah, obviously, like we said before, their level of work already. If I just see like loads of like pixelated images, poorly styled, clothes all over the place, obviously I'm just gonna say no, might not even respond. I'm joking, of course I respond, but do you know what I mean? Like, just a portfolio that looks enticing. But yeah, I think that's it, all I can think of off the top of my head.
That's cool. I think that's helpful. I'm sure someone will find that really insightful. I found it quite insightful. That's brilliant. I think, when I was working as a stylist, what I would like what I just wanted to receive from designers and brands is just professionalism, really. So,
and how does that look to you?
If I've said, if I found something on your website that I like, and I've said, can I have this in this size, this color, or whatever, if I go to pick it up and you've, got me an alternative, it's kind of like, well, why didn't you tell me this beforehand?
Before, yeah. Say before.
Like, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Also, I mean, that aside, that's just a given. Other things you've pretty much covered it. I think from a stylist perspective, just for brands and designers to be respectful to stylists and allow stylists to see their vision from start to finish. Even though as a brand, it may not be something that you necessarily like, it may not be your taste, it may not be something that you would style or put together. That's absolutely fine. Everyone's entitled to their own vision, their own opinions and whatnot. But you still need to have a level of creative respect to other creatives and just allow the stylist to do his or her vision. Because at the end of the day, they would have told you what the vision is, what the concept is. And it's, you know, if you said yes, you've said yes. So you can't really just be like, oh, I'm not really happy with, you know, how the shoot turned out. It's not really my style or my taste. It's like, well, you were told the concept beforehand. So it is what it is. So I just think a level of respect to other creatives and and also if we've touched on this before, the tagging, you know, if you do like the photos as a brand or designer and you want to share it on your social media platforms, listen, I know the photographers are, you know, the creative geniuses. Without them, the shoot wouldn't be possible. I totally get that. But your stylist also puts in a hell of a lot of work into, you know, getting the outfits ready, also going the, you know, the extra step of coming up with the makeup looks and the hairstyles, even down to how they want the models to pose. Because I know when I was working as a stylist, I was figuring out all of that stuff. I was researching.
So you were putting together the looks, the makeup looks as well as a stylist?
Yeah.
Wow.
I see the vision from start to finish. I see the makeup that I want the model to have with a certain outfit. You know, I was matching, you know, different clothes and garments from different designers and brands. You know, I had a vision of the hairstyle. Maybe for this look, the hair will be up. For the next look, it will be down. Also down to the poses. Like I would literally go onto Pinterest, Google different types of poses, print them off and have them ready to like.
Oh, wow. Check you. That's going beyond the stylist's role. Like you're doing like the art direction there.
Yeah. So like if then after the shoot is, you know, it's been and gone and the photos are being published by the team and they don't tag you or you're like the last tag, it's kind of like, come on now, put some respect to my name. You were present at the photo shoot. Sorry, not the
So do you care about the order of the tag as well? Because sometimes I think, oh, I don't know how to order it. And I just feel like, okay, let me start with the designer, photographer. I think then I do model, makeup, or I don't know. But so you care about the order of tag?
I wouldn't say I care, but I do sometimes think, like if it's a photo shoot that, especially with a TFP shoot, if like the stylist is the one who's initiated it, when I was doing TFP shoots, I would initiate them. So I would reach out to this photographer, reach out to this makeup artist, reach out to that hairstylist. I do feel like my tag should be somewhere towards the top, like as the person who has orchestrated
the whole thing,
the shoot, and has kind of come up with the concept. Because a lot of people, let me not use a blanket statement, but you will find some creatives that would want to get involved in TFP shoots, but they don't want to be involved in like the wahala of trying to figure out the concept. They just want to come and play their parts. If I'm a photographer, I just want to do photography. You take care of sourcing the model, getting the clothes, sorting out the hair.
That's where you need multiple tags though. It's like, you know, art director, creative director, or, you know, stylist. What's the other tag I was thinking of? Model scout. Is that the phrase? I don't know. Like it sounds like you needed more tags than just being a stylist, to be honest.
I mean, I get you, but to be fair, again, because it was TFP and I was happy to like collaborate, and I guess maybe I wasn't as confident as I am now. I was happy to just, you know, just tag me as the stylist. That's absolutely fine. But I think the more I was doing it and the more time and effort I was putting into these photo shoots. And sometimes I tell you, I kid you not, I would like cover people's travel. So if I really wanted to, yeah, if I really wanted to work with like
That's the thing. It's a collaboration. So it's like if you're coming, then you're coming to get like to bring it. That's another thing I need to put in this conversation. But you're coming to bring your best effort because you know what you want out of it. That's why you've agreed. You know, everyone is getting their images. So I'm coming as a designer. If I'm coming to the shoot on set, like I'm coming, so I know the outcome is the images. So I'm gonna pay for my own travel there. When you're paying for the travel, I feel like you're saying like it's my project and maybe it's less of a collaboration.
Yeah,
maybe
I think so. Because to be fair, when I did reach out to some people, I already had the concept and the idea in my head. So really and truly, I guess I kind of was sort of saying that without saying it and just enticing them. So like, you know what, this is the idea I have. Of course, it's a collaboration, you know, but I really want this idea. And although I can't pay you your rate, I can at least cover your travel. So I don't know. So you think, what if travel is being covered, then it's not a TFP shoot? Is that what you think?
I think it still is, because they're not getting paid for their services. You're kind of helping them to get there, but it kind of, I feel like it's more of your shoot and they're contributing. I don't know. It's hard to explain. So it's still time for print, but it's more your project. It's less of a collaboration. It's collaborative in a way that they're not getting paid, but yeah.
I feel you.
And sometimes people use that as a way to get free labor by saying it's time for print. But that's up to the person involved to decide if it's for them or not. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said before, this shoot may benefit them because they're going to have images that they don't already have in their portfolio, and that can lead to paid work. Or they might meet someone on set and then say, if I invite a nail stylist and the photographer is there and he's got a client next week that's got a big budget. Okay, I liked how you worked on set. And that's what I was going to say earlier. That's why it's so important to bring the A game. Some people think like, oh, because I'm not being paid and it's a collaboration, I'm just going to work half-hearted. But the other people on that set are going to be watching and they're going to know what sort of level you bring. If you don't bring the right energy and the right effort, then you could be missing out on a bag. You know what I mean? Like going to that set could lead to other opportunities. There's an example of that from my shoot that I did last month. And the photographer just had some feedback about how some people on set were behaving. And this photographer gets some really good clients.
Okay.
And yeah, he was just saying to me about it after. I'm like, why didn't you tell me on the set? Like, why tell me now? Because, what can we do now?
What wasn't he happy with? Like, was there specific people?
So I had a hairstylist and she also did the set. And as the day was going on, like as the set was being built, I was like changing things and ended up being me and him changing the set. And he's a photographer, I'm the designer, and he didn't like the fact that I didn't know until after. Of course, I could imagine on the day, he wasn't particularly enjoying having to adjust the set, but we were doing it. But if he voiced to me like, oh, can you get the set designer to actually help us? And I was calling her over a bit, but the way I am, I know it's something I have to work on. I don't like to tell people what to do. So I've invited you to come to something, your role. I don't want to keep saying, come and do this, come and do this, come and do this. So if you can see that I'm doing it, you're not coming, obviously you don't want to come and do it.
Yeah.
So he was upset that basically the set designer wasn't on her feet, making sure that she was controlling the set. And he told me that after, when I was saying to him about, there's some more images that I need, and we were just discussing things, and it's just like, he said I should have told her at the set. And I was like, but why didn't you tell her? Like, we're part of this together. And like I was saying, like, I'm the best leader. That's something I have to develop because I just don't feel comfortable telling people what to do. And that's probably because I don't like being told what to do. So yeah. But basically, if she had worked in a different way, there might be an opportunity for her to work with him. Because like I said, he gets lots of paid clients with budgets. And he was actually really impressed with the videographer that I brought along. She was on her feet the whole day. I said to her, you can sit down. Like, she was just really on it. She was really on it. And that's obviously really good to see that someone's so eager and passionate and wanting to capture every angle, and so yeah, bring your best efforts, even if you're not getting paid. You're there for a reason. You want the best outcome. You don't know who else is in that room that could lead to a paid opportunity. So yeah, that's my take on that. She's like, if you're gonna come out your house to come to a set, make sure that you're gonna get the best thing possible out of it. I feel like sometimes people put too much emphasis on money. If you really can't afford to go to a job, fine. But if you're just going to be sat at home anyway that day, and during pandemic, maybe there's less things to do. If you can go and even just, sometimes it can be even fun just being on a set. But it is work. It's something we should be paid for. But looking at it from a different perspective, you're going somewhere where you're able to meet new people. You're able to do something that hopefully you're passionate about. And at the end of it, you are going to get pictures as well. So just bring the best energy you have. And also another thing on energy, I've had feedback from a photographer before that he wasn't feeling the energy of a model. And I feel like models need to go in with the energy, because they I think sometimes models can enter a room and set the pace and the vibe for the shoot, because everyone's looking at them. They're the kind of center of attention in some ways. Yeah, sorry, I'm just talking.
No. I just wanted to say, like, he gave you feedback about the model, but why didn't he say that to the model when they were on the set? Did he not say, like, oh, could you just... Well, I don't know. Not obviously.
He was saying he felt uncomfortable too, because of her vibe.
Okay, but then that's not your job to like now go and play messenger.
I mean, it's too late for me to play messenger because the shoot is already over anyway. So it really was no, that there's nothing can be done by telling me after.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Like, well, exactly. What does he want you to do with that feedback? Tell the model?
I don't know. Maybe I should have casted a better model. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just intrigued because it's like...
Yeah. I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying not to say what shoot it is now. I don't want anyone to get upset. But yeah. But I know I also said to him, like, you should have just said on the day. But maybe if that model came in, maybe she was shy, maybe she was a bit insecure. Maybe I should have picked a model that I met before and knew that she was going to be comfortable. But at the end of the day, when you choose to be a model, you know that you're going to be critiqued and that everyone is going to scrutinize your body and how you look. So
also, you have to know, like, you can't predict people's personalities. Like, trust me, I've done some paid photo shoots, like styled some paid photo shoots, and booking the model from a modeling agency. Like, aside from her look, she also gave off the impression in her photos that she would be of a certain type of personality, but when she came on set, my goodness, she was
different.
You just never know. You can't predict these things. It literally is just wait and see on the day.
Yeah. And sometimes people have a bad day, people can be different from one shoot to the other. But yeah, I didn't particularly think it was my responsibility to communicate the things he was saying to the model. Or if he had told me on the day, I would have been like, oh, because it might have been easier coming from a woman, like, can you just pull your belly in, can you do this, can you do that, or whatever, like, but as a model, if a photographer was to say that to you, you shouldn't be offended, because they just want the best image possible. It's not like a random guy on the road trying to comment on your look. You're here to be looked at and to be photographed, and we all want the best. So yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like everyone needs to be vocal and communicate on a time print, because when it's a paid client, it's like that outcome is not up to you. Like, this brand or this company, they know what they want. You don't have a say in that. You don't have a say on how Nike is gonna do their campaign or how Lululemon wants their leggings to look. You're just there to come to style the clothing or to model the clothing. But when it's a collaborative thing, I feel like everyone can be vocal. Like, you all bring in your vision to it.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Yeah. So I think, let me just check if I had anything else. Um, yeah, we covered everything that I wanted to discuss on time for print. Yeah, another example actually of time for print is I'm working on a time for print with someone that I met at Clubhouse, and there's a stylist, but she's not a stylist, but she's got jewelry. And I sent her a mood board, she's come back and she's done adjustments to the mood board. And it's a back and forth. It's like, that's completely fine. It's not my project, but it's our project. So I'm happy for you to give your input. And we're agreeing on what models that we want to work with. She sent me some, I'm just like, this isn't the direction. And she's completely understanding of that and said, okay, how about this person? I sent her a template of how it's good to contact a model. So she's on job with doing that. We'll see where we're at next week. And I might have to send a few to people in my network, but it's just like a collaboration, a back and forth.
Yeah.
And she's got the energy for it as well, which I like, because sometimes people could be like, yeah, time for print, and it's all one-sided on getting the work done.
Yeah.
But I can see that she's on it, so that energy is really appreciated. So yeah, time for print, I think we've shared a lot of knowledge on it, and I'm sure that a lot of people will find this useful.
I hope so. And it's just, you know what, it's just our experience, opinion.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like we're both in an agreement that there's nothing wrong with time for print. You just have to do your research, vet the people who you want to collaborate with, and just iron out all of the important things from the beginning. So how many photos is everyone going to be entitled to? If we do share it on our social medias, we all have to tag each other. The concept, the location, the hair, the makeup, just, like you said, just be involved and take it on as your project. And it's teamwork. It's just working together as a team. Yeah.
That's it. That's a nice summary. Thank you, Ivy.
Thanks, Yemi.